What if I told you that the very fabric of reality is not as solid and predetermined as you've been led to believe? What if the strangest, most mind-bending theories from the frontiers of physics are not just abstract equations on a blackboard, but a user manual for the universe you inhabit? Tonight, we peel back the veil of ordinary perception to explore a truth that has been whispered by mystics for millennia, and is now being screamed by the mathematics of quantum mechanics. Your mind is not just a passive observer of the world, it is an active participant in its creation. Stay with me as we embark on a journey to the very heart of existence, where consciousness, intention, and reality collide. Let's begin with a familiar feeling. Have you ever thought of a friend you haven't spoken to in years, only to have your phone ring moments later with their name on the screen? We casually dismiss these moments as coincidence, a comfortable label for the inexplicable. But what if it's something more? What if it's a glimpse into the fundamental nature of reality? A demonstration of a principle so bizarre it famously prompted Albert Einstein to call it spooky action at a distance. We are embarking on an exploration that challenges the very notion of a random, mechanical universe. Our central question is this: can the focused, disciplined human mind tap into the proven principles of quantum mechanics to influence reality and manifest desires? This isn't about wishful thinking or pseudoscience. It's about looking at the established, experimentally verified, and frankly, weird mechanics of the quantum realm, and recognizing the startling parallels with what practitioners of intention have claimed for centuries. We're talking about quantum entanglement, the phenomenon where two particles, once linked, remain mysteriously connected, mirroring each other's state instantly, even if they are separated by billions of light years. This instantaneous connection, which defies our classical understanding of space and time, serves as our starting point. It's a powerful clue that the universe is far more interconnected than it appears, and that a hidden web of influence might be waiting for us to learn how to use it. To truly grasp how intention might shape our world, we must first understand the ground on which this new reality is built. The foundation is quantum mechanics, the most successful and rigorously tested scientific theory in human history. Let's start with a core principle: quantum superposition. Imagine a spinning coin. Before it lands, is it heads or tails? In a way, it's both. It exists in a state of pure potential, a blur of possibilities. Quantum mechanics tells us that on the subatomic level, particles like electrons do the exact same thing. They exist not in one single place or state, but in a haze of all possible places and states at once. This cloud of potential is only resolved. The coin only lands on heads or tails, at the moment of observation. The very act of looking forces the universe to make a choice. Now, let's add the second, even stranger, ingredient: quantum entanglement. This is the spooky action that so unsettled Einstein. When two particles are entangled, they become intrinsically linked. They are two parts of a single system, no matter how far apart they travel. If you measure one particle and find its spin is up, you will know, with 100% certainty, that its entangled twin, even if it's in another galaxy, will instantly have a spin of down. Information appears to travel between them faster than the speed of light, a feat, our classical laws say, is impossible. This isn't just a theory, it's a phenomenon that has been proven time and again. In fact, the groundbreaking work confirming the reality of this interconnectedness earned a ailing aspect. John Clauser and Anton Zeilinger, the 2022 Nobel Prize in Physics. What this prize-winning science demonstrates is profound. At its most fundamental level, reality is not a collection of separate, solid objects. It is a fluid, deeply interconnected, and probabilistic system, waiting for an observer to collapse the wave of potential into a concrete experience. This brings us to the deepest, most unsettling mystery in all of physics: the measurement problem. Why? Why does the universe, which exists in a beautiful symphony of infinite possibilities, suddenly collapse into one single, definite reality the moment we observe it? What is so special about the act of measurement? For decades, physicists tried to explain this by suggesting the interaction with a measuring device was the cause. But the math didn't fully hold up. The devices themselves are made of quantum particles, so who is observing the device? This leads to an infinite regress, a chain of observers observing observers. It was this profound puzzle that led brilliant minds, including the Nobel laureate physicist Eugene Wigner, to propose a radical and controversial theory. What if the final link in that chain, the ultimate observer that collapses the wave of potential, is not a machine, but consciousness itself? This idea suggests that awareness is not a passive byproduct of a clockwork universe. Instead, it is the active catalyst that turns the ghostly, probabilistic quantum world into the solid, tangible reality we experience every day. Think of a sculptor standing before a formless lump of clay. The clay holds the potential to become any number of beautiful sculptures. It is the sculptor's focused attention, their conscious choice and action, that transforms that raw potential into a single, actualized form. Could our consciousness be playing a similar role on a cosmic scale, constantly selecting from an infinite menu of probable realities to create the one we perceive? This is not just a philosophical fancy. It is a compelling, if unsettling, potential solution to a problem that lies at the very heart of modern physics. If consciousness is indeed the catalyst, how far does its influence extend? The legendary physicist John Wheeler, a contemporary of Einstein, championed an idea he called the participatory universe. In this model, we are not just residents of the cosmos. We are fundamental participants in its ongoing creation. The mathematics of quantum mechanics perfectly describes this strange relationship. It points to a non-local connection, a reality that isn't bound by the limitations of space and time we experience in our daily lives. This non-locality mirrors the descriptions of manifestation practitioners, who often speak of an immediate, unexplainable link between their focused thought and a resulting outcome, regardless of physical distance. To see just how deeply this idea shatters our everyday intuition, we must look at one of the most mind-bending experiments ever conceived and executed: the delayed choice quantum eraser. In a simplified sense, this experiment shows that the choice an observer makes in the present can retroactively determine what happened to a particle in the past. It's as if you could decide whether a traveler took the left or right fork in a road yesterday by looking at their destination today. The evidence suggests that our observation not only collapses possibilities in the now, but that its influence can ripple backward through time, changing the historical record of a particle's journey. This completely demolishes our classical, linear understanding of cause and effect. It suggests that the past, present, and future are not a fixed sequence, but are entwined in a dynamic, quantum relationship, a relationship in which our present moment of conscious choice plays a starring and truly powerful role. So, what does this mean for manifestation? Perhaps it's not about conjuring something from thin air, like a magician pulling a rabbit from a hat. A more scientifically grounded way to think about it is that manifestation is the art of skillfully biasing probabilities. The quantum world is a realm of likelihoods, not certainties. By applying focused, coherent intention, could we be acting as a subtle force that loads the dice of the universe, making our desired outcomes more probable and less desired outcomes less probable? This might sound far-fetched, but nature is already a master of this game. Life itself has learned to exploit the bizarre rules of quantum mechanics. In photosynthesis, Plants use quantum coherence to find the most efficient path for energy from sunlight to travel through the leaf, exploring all possible routes simultaneously to guarantee a near-perfect transfer. Migratory birds are believed to use a quantum entanglement-based compass in their eyes to navigate the Earth's magnetic field with astonishing precision. These are not fringe ideas. They are active fields of research in quantum biology. This naturally leads to a fascinating and profound question. If plants and birds can harness quantum effects, what about the most complex structure in the known universe, the human brain? Inside our neurons are intricate protein structures called microtubules. Some of the world's most forward-thinking physicists and neuroscientists, like Sir Roger Penrose, have proposed that these microtubules might be the perfect biological architecture for processing quantum information. Could our brain, with its trillions of neural connections, not just be a classical computer processing electrical signals, but the ultimate quantum device, uniquely designed to interface with the probabilistic nature of reality? Let's explore two more quantum phenomena that offer powerful metaphors and, perhaps, literal mechanisms for how intention can reshape our world. The first is quantum tunneling. In our classical world, if you roll a ball at a hill, it either has enough energy to get over the top, or it doesn't. If it doesn't, it will always roll back. But in the quantum realm, a particle with insufficient energy can, with a certain probability, simply vanish from one side of an energy barrier and reappear on the other. It's like a ghost walking through a solid wall. This bizarre effect is not just a curiosity. It's essential for processes like nuclear fusion in the sun. As a metaphor, quantum tunneling is profound. It suggests that what we perceive as insurmountable obstacles in our lives, financial barriers, health challenges, creative blocks, may not be as solid as they appear. Perhaps focused consciousness, like a quantum particle, can find a way to tunnel through these barriers in ways our logical minds can't comprehend. The second phenomenon, quantum steering, is even more direct. It's a proven and more refined aspect of entanglement. Imagine two people, Alice and Bob, each holding one particle from an entangled pair. Through her choice of how she measures her particle, Alice can literally steer the state of Bob's particle, collapsing its possibilities into a specific reality of her choosing, instantly and from a distance. The implications are staggering. If our consciousness can interface with the quantum world, could your focused intention be steering reality? Could it be influencing the quantum probabilities that govern the actions, choices, and opportunities that appear not just in your life, but in the lives of others, subtly aligning the universe with your manifested reality? This isn't about controlling people, but about influencing the field of probabilities from which everyone draws their experiences. You are not just a passenger. You may very well be a co-pilot. For decades, we've thought of the universe as being made of two fundamental things, matter and energy. But a revolutionary new perspective, championed by physicists like John Wheeler, suggests there's a third, even more fundamental component: information. In this model, every particle, every force, every law of physics can be broken down into bits of information. Reality, at its core, is a vast, self-organizing quantum information field. If this is true, then manifestation takes on a whole new meaning. It ceases to be about moving physical objects and becomes the process of creating and transmitting a coherent information pattern with your consciousness. Your desired reality, that new job, that healed relationship, that creative breakthrough, already exists as a potential information pattern within this universal quantum field. Your task is to activate it. How do you do that? This is where the wisdom of ancient traditions meets modern physics. The key is emotional resonance. Why do all great teachers of manifestation insist that you must feel the reality of your wish as if it's already here? It's not just a motivational trick to keep you positive. Emotion is energy in motion. It may be the very mechanism by which we create a powerful, coherent, vibrational signature. By generating the elevated emotions of gratitude, love, and joy associated with your desired outcome, you are essentially creating a wave of information with a specific frequency. Your consciousness becomes a tuning fork. And when you hold that frequency with enough clarity and consistency, you create a resonance with the pre-existing potential pattern in the quantum field. This resonance pulls that information from the realm of the potential into the realm of the physical, collapsing the wave function and making it your tangible experience. Emotion is the language the universe understands. We've already touched upon the idea that time is not the rigid, one-way street we perceive it to be. Let's deepen that investigation by exploring the experimentally verified concept of retrocausality. The idea that the future can influence the past. As we saw with the delayed choice experiment, actions taken now can seemingly change events that have already occurred on a quantum level. Could this principle apply to our intentions? Could the focused intention you hold today be sending a signal backward in time to adjust the long chain of probabilities that led you to this exact present moment? It suggests that when you decide on a future, you may be retroactively creating the perfect path to get you there, aligning past events and coincidences in your favor. Furthermore, our web of connection might be even deeper than we thought. While entanglement is powerful, it's also somewhat fragile and specific. But physicists have discovered another, more pervasive form of quantum correlation called quantum discord. Unlike entanglement, which can be broken, discord is almost everywhere. It represents a subtle, resilient, quantum link between systems that we previously thought were independent. It's a quieter, more fundamental layer of interconnectedness. This pervasive web of discord could be the missing link we've been searching for. It could be the channel through which the subtle quantum-level processes of our consciousness are able to scale up their influence, affecting the macroscopic classical world we live in without violating the known laws of physics. It suggests that our every thought and feeling might be contributing to a universal quantum conversation, subtly nudging the world around us. This brings us to a mind-expanding way to reframe the entire process of manifestation. What if you are not creating anything new at all? What if you are simply selecting one interpretation of quantum mechanics? The many worlds theory suggests that every possible outcome of a quantum measurement actually happens in its own separate parallel universe or timeline. In this model, there is a reality where you are living your wildest dreams, and a reality where you are facing your greatest fears, and every possible variation in between. If we view this through the lens of manifestation, our consciousness acts like a quantum sampling mechanism. It's like standing in a room with an infinite number of television channels, all playing at once. Your state of being, your thoughts, beliefs, and emotions determines which channel you are tuned into. Focused intention, then, becomes a selection pressure. By consistently maintaining the state of being that matches your desired reality, you favor that timeline. You make it more probable that your awareness will continue down that specific path. This model elegantly explains the importance of two key elements in manifestation: timing and patience. It's not about forcing an outcome in this instant. It's about maintaining a coherent state of focus long enough to allow consciousness to delay the final collapse of reality until all the necessary conditions on that preferred timeline have perfectly aligned. This is the wisdom intuited by ancient spiritual traditions that emphasized the power of the eternal now. By staying present and holding your desired state without anxiety or attachment to the outcome, you are giving the universe the flexibility it needs to orchestrate the most elegant path to your chosen reality. Where does the energy to create new realities come from? The answer from quantum physics is both astonishing and empowering. According to quantum field theory, the empty space around us, the vacuum, is not empty at all. It is a seething, bubbling cauldron of energy and virtual particles popping in and out of existence. This is called the zero-point field, and the amount of potential energy it contains is staggering. Physicists have calculated that the energy contained in the space of a single coffee cup is enough to boil all the oceans of the world. It is a virtually infinite source of creative power. While this energy is normally chaotic and random, physicists in labs have learned how to manipulate it. They can create what are called squeezed vacuum states, essentially organizing the chaotic fluctuations to extract usable energy. This leads to a spectacular proposition. What if a highly coherent, disciplined consciousness can achieve a similar effect naturally? What if, through deep meditation and focused intention, the brain can create a biological field that organizes the chaotic energy of the void, drawing upon it to energetically support a desired manifestation? This would be the ultimate form of sustainable creation. To maintain the necessary stability for such a delicate process, the brain would likely need a powerful error correction system. Intriguingly, some theories suggest that the very structure of consciousness and biological systems has quantum error correction built into its fabric, allowing us to hold a stable, coherent signal amidst the chaos of the quantum void. Let's expand our perspective even further with a concept from theoretical physics called the holographic principle. This principle suggests that all the information contained in a volume of space, say, an entire room, can be described by the information on its two-dimensional boundary, like a hologram. Extending this idea, it's been proposed that our entire three-dimensional universe might be a holographic projection of information stored on a distant, two-dimensional surface. What does this mean for us? If the universe is a hologram, then every piece of it contains the information of the whole. Just as a small fragment of a holographic plate can be used to reconstruct the entire image, your individual consciousness may, on some fundamental level, contain the information of the entire universe. This completely dissolves the perceived boundary between yourself and the cosmos. You are not a drop in the ocean. You are the entire ocean in a drop. In this view, manifestation is not an act of a separate self trying to influence an external world. It is the universal creative process becoming aware of itself through you and reorganizing itself accordingly. This principle also illuminates the immense power of collective consciousness. If one mind can create a coherent information field, what happens when dozens, hundreds, or thousands of minds align with the same intention? They could potentially create quantum coherence fields far more powerful than any single individual. This isn't just theory. The Global Consciousness Project, a decades-long experiment run by scientists at Princeton University and other institutions, has collected data suggesting that major global events, moments of shared joy, tragedy, or focus correlate with statistically significant changes in the output of a worldwide network of random number generators. It's as if our collective mind can create a measurable imprint on the fabric of reality, hinting at a power we are only just beginning to understand. Let's return to the brain, but this time, let's look at the evidence from neuroscience. Studies on advanced meditators, such as Tibetan monks, have revealed extraordinary brain activity. They exhibit something called global workspace integration and hyperbinding, where disparate regions of the brain synchronize in a state of profound coherence. Their brains function less like a classical computer, processing information step by step, and more like a quantum computer, holding vast amounts of information in a state of holistic superposition. This leads us to the ultimate, most practical implication of this entire journey. If reality consists of infinite potential timelines existing in a state of temporal superposition, then manifestation is truly the art of timeline selection. The practice of acting as if your desire is already fulfilled is no longer just a psychological technique. It is recontextualized as the most direct and powerful method available to us. It is the physical and emotional discipline of aligning your entire being, your brainwaves, your heart rate variability, your emotional state, your every action so completely with a desired timeline that you cause that specific probability wave to collapse into your physical experience. You are not just pretending. You are performing a quantum measurement. You are choosing your reality by becoming a perfect vibrational match for it, making it the only possible outcome for your consciousness to experience. If all of this is true, if this powerful creative ability is our birthright, a natural consequence of the physics of our universe, then why is it so difficult? Why don't our desires manifest instantly? This segment addresses the very real and modern challenge of quantum interference. To create a coherent signal of intention, we need a clear, stable, and focused mind. However, the nature of modern life is often the exact opposite. We are bombarded by a constant stream of information, notifications, social media anxieties, and collective mental chaos. Each of these inputs creates a conflicting wave pattern, leading to a state of decoherence that disrupts and scrambles the clean, powerful signal of our intentions. Success in this environment requires the development of what we can call quantum resilience. This is a metacognitive skill, the ability to be aware of your own awareness. It's the practice of maintaining a stable, coherent observer consciousness despite the constant noise and turbulence of the external world. Practices like meditation, mindfulness, and spending time in nature are not just for relaxation. They are essential training for effectively interacting with the quantum field. They are the methods by which we quiet the static, clean the channel, and build the mental and emotional resilience needed to hold our intended signal steady long enough for it to resonate with the field of potential and manifest in our lives. As we refine our understanding, we move beyond a forceful, grasping kind of intention to a more elegant and powerful state of quantum creativity. This is the ability to hold a question or a desire in a state of open, receptive possibility, allowing the optimal solution to emerge from the quantum field, rather than trying to dictate every detail. It's the difference between forcing a single solution and allowing a quantum computer to explore all possible outcomes simultaneously to find the most efficient and elegant one. It requires trust and a willingness to be surprised by a solution even better than what you could have imagined. Furthermore, groundbreaking research and theory are now suggesting that the effects of our focused consciousness are not fleeting. They may create persistent quantum information fields that literally imprint upon the fabric of space itself. Think of it like magnetizing a piece of iron. The more you run the magnet over it, the stronger the magnetic field becomes. Similarly, your consistent practice of focused attention and elevated emotion doesn't just work in the moment you're doing it. It builds a manifestation momentum. You are creating a quantum memory in the space around you, a coherent field that continues to organize reality toward your goal long after you've finished meditating or visualizing. Your intentional practice is cumulative, making it easier and easier to return to that state and amplifying your creative power over time. Let's now consider a radical and awe-inspiring model that ties everything together. Imagine that the fabric of space-time itself is not just a passive stage, but a universal quantum computer of unimaginable power and capacity. In this model, your individual consciousness is like a localized terminal, connected to this vast, cosmic computational network. The phenomenal processing power, flashes of insight, and creative genius observed in advanced practitioners and artists throughout history suggest they are not just using the biological hardware of their brains. It hints that they have learned to access these vast external computational resources. Manifestation, then, becomes a skill of increasing your quantum bandwidth. It's about learning to create a cleaner, stronger, more coherent connection to this cosmic intelligence. Practices like meditation quiet the noise on your local terminal. Cultivating elevated emotions like love and gratitude tunes your signal to a higher frequency. Clearing limiting beliefs is like removing malware that slows down your connection. As you increase your bandwidth, you gain the ability to download more complex information. Solve challenges that seem impossible from your limited perspective, and co-create your reality in ways that transcend your individual limitations. You are learning to query the universe itself for the answers and solutions you seek. This immense power brings with it a profound ethical dimension. Is the universe a neutral, impartial machine that will simply manifest anything we desire, regardless of its nature? Some theories propose a more elegant and hopeful answer, that the universe's quantum systems are not neutral at all. They may have an inherent bias, a kind of evolutionary pressure that favors intentions aligned with the overarching cosmic trend, the advancement of complexity, coherence, beauty, and consciousness. This suggests that intentions driven by fear, greed, control, or ego intentions that create separation and disharmony may encounter a natural form of quantum resistance. The universe, in its fundamental structure, may not support that which moves against its own evolutionary current. Conversely, intentions that are rooted in love, service, unity, and a desire for the greater good might find themselves naturally amplified by the cosmos. They are aligned with the direction reality is already flowing. This transforms manifestation from a simple tool for personal gain into a form of cosmic service. It becomes a collaboration with the creative intelligence of reality itself, a way of participating in the universe's grand project of becoming more complex, more beautiful, and more. And now, for our final and most inspiring revelation, we've explored a universe that responds to consciousness. But what if the relationship is even deeper? What if the quantum universe doesn't just respond, it learns? Some speculative but thrilling evidence from long-term experiments with meditators and intention practitioners suggests that their local quantum environment begins to change over time. The random fluctuations in the zero-point field around them begin to exhibit what could be described as anticipatory coherence, organizing themselves toward the practitioner's intentions before they even begin to focus. This implies an incredible feedback loop. As you work with the universe learns to work with you. Your consistent, coherent consciousness trains the quantum field in your vicinity, making it more responsive, more pliable, and more collaborative over time. The journey, therefore, is not about mastering a static set of techniques. It's about entering into a dynamic, living relationship with a conscious, learning universe. Our exploration concludes not with a final answer, but with a profound invitation. The invitation is to shift your perception of yourself from a victim of circumstance to a conscious co-creator. It is to embrace your role in a living, evolving cosmos that is not just hearing your intentions, but is actively waiting to collaborate with you. The key takeaway from all of this is that the world is not something that is happening to you, but something that is responding through you. The state of your inner world, your thoughts, your emotions, your beliefs is the primary creative force in your life. To change your reality, you must first change your personality. You must begin to think, feel, and act as if your desired future is your current reality. This isn't deception. It's quantum creation. My advice is to start small. Pick one area of your life you'd like to improve. Instead of focusing on the lack of it, spend just 5 minutes each day closing your eyes and feeling the emotions of what it would be like to have it. Feel the gratitude, the joy, the freedom. Don't worry about the how. Your job is the what and the why. The how is the universe's domain. Your job is to create the energetic blueprint, and then allow the supreme intelligence of the universe to orchestrate the events, people, and opportunities to bring it to life. And now, I want to ask you, have you ever experienced a coincidence so perfect it felt like the universe was speaking directly to you? Share your story in the comments below. Let's learn from each other's experiences with this incredible power. Thank you for joining me on this journey into the heart of reality. I wish you profound health, abundant joy, and a life filled with wonderful manifestations. If this exploration resonated with you, please subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications, so you don't miss our next adventure into the mysteries of mind and matter.